We're talking actors and directors who put on the shows.
We're talking playwrights and designers who you'll want to know.
From the very first rehearsal to the final curtain call.
We might be off Broadway, but we're talking about it all.
'Cause we're two local gals
With global pals, it's everything, everything, everything theater.
with Benita
And Ellen. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Everything Theater Podcast Backstage episode. I'm Ellen Cribbs.
And I'm Benita Zahn. Hi. Oh, Ellen, it's so much fun. You and I have been so busy with fabulous guests lately that we haven't had a chance just to sit back and have a little chat.
I know, yeah, you've been lining up our guests left and right. It's been fantastic. I love talking to our guests, but I also like talking to you.
I gotcha. And people probably think, oh, you two get together. Well, in the old world, we
Yeah.
did. In the new world, it's just like this. And I was wondering, and I wonder how our listeners feel, if we should go back out in the field sometimes and do interviews. I mean, look, it's been great. We're getting folks from really all over the country. A lot of the folks who are touring are coming through. We get to talk with them even before they come into town.
Yeah.
But, we might be able to, maybe we'll pack up our stuff and go over and see Patrick and Christopher. Sit in their little nookie, because we're going to be having them on in a couple weeks.
Absolutely, our annual, year roundup of the theater and the local scene.
So, it's been busy. And now, of course, folks are going to start running into the city to go see shows. And
Mhm.
I'm just going to, do a shout out, but in a, come on, guys, can you help us out way, please? Amtrak used to have a late train back from the city. It was great. You got on the train, they took the tickets, everybody went to sleep. And the next thing you know, you were in Rhinecliff. It was Rhinecliff, Hudson and home. Well, they did, during the pandemic, they stopped that. And I read just the other day that they put on a few more trains. But Amtrak folks, if you're listening, theater aficionados, if you think about it, let's all encourage Amtrak to put that train back on. John Quinnen, who just had a very successful show over at Albany Civic. Those of you who know John, and now you all will, he loves to go to the city, and he just has a whole couple of days or a day where he'll see two shows, and he posted, he said, I can't do that. It's
Yeah.
down and back now. So Amtrak, if you're listening, theater, the arts community up here wants you to put that train back on.
Absolutely. I've definitely done that train ride a couple times.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last time I was able to do the day trip, but it was because it was a matinee. That's the only way to train it now and catch a show in one day.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise you catch in at 9:15. That's it. There's 7:15 and 9:15. And the trains have been jam-packed.
Yeah.
So once again, Amtrak, please, if you're listening, anybody knows anybody at Amtrak, please, we'd really like to be able to better support. Listen, we support the arts in our community.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh, and I had I'm going to yabber away here, so you better, I had a fun thing. A fella that I performed in, he plays Sweeney in Sweeney Todd, right before the world shut down with the two of us productions. Was in a production. He played Hyde, Jekyll and Hyde, in Jekyll and Hyde, just at the Coach House Playhouse down in Kingston.
Oh.
And it is it's been around since the 1950s. It's community. So, it's a community theater. And it's a funky setup, narrow. But we had a chance to go down and see him in it, Joshua Patriarcho. And, sometimes it's fun to just get a little out of Dodge and still be upstate. So that's all I got for you, Ellen.
Well, I was also going to say a big congratulations to Bridge Street Theater. They just won some Berkshire Awards. I was trying to look it up.
Yeah.
What they won, but for their long day's journey into night, outstanding production of a play. among some other stuff. So kudos to them. We've had them on the show, so go check them out.
Yeah. You know, what's interesting with the Berkeys, which those awards are called, is that there's nothing that's specific to this area.
Mm.
So it's like you sort of sliding in. So here I go again. Come on, Berkeys. A lot of theater going on around here.
Definitely.
Leah
Yeah.
Michelle announced, they released the recording from Funny Girl.
And a lot of people had mixed feelings about that because they didn't record it with name is escaping me right now.
Yeah, with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people are saying, well, she didn't quite have the singing chops, so it kind of makes sense to record it with Leah Michelle.
So why did they cast her in the first place?
Yeah, that whole situation is weird.
Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Love her or hate her, but Leah Michelle just seems like really made for that role.
Right. Yeah, that's a tricky thing, right? And especially in this world where people are being very outspoken and making sure everyone is treated fairly and equally and respectfully. To have an actress of that talent who has a reputation of not being the nicest person, of saying things, doing things that are very frowned upon, that's an interesting one of is talent and ticket sales trump that other stuff? I don't think it should, but I don't know.
Beanie Feldstein.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Money paves over a lot of problems for people.
Yeah.
It just does, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And does everybody deserve a second chance or a third or a fourth?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't, not that I'm listening or I'm with that connected, Ellen, but I haven't, have you read any trash since the show opened about her?
No,
Right.
nothing since the show started. So, maybe she has learned a lesson because of stuff that's gotten out.
She just grew up.
Maybe she grew up. Yeah.
I think
Started very young.
Right. I think we forget so many of these performers, so incredibly talented, and a lot of them were the Disney Club kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they were so young, and it's tough enough, and then to grow up under the spotlight.
Yeah.
Every bada boo, bada bee, bada ba, there's somebody waiting, and you can't get out of it, and it just gets worse.
Yeah. Maybe. But it seems to be selling well. Those tickets are not cheap. And they're selling.
Right. Yiddish Fiddler, back second time around. A lot of folks telling me it's a wonderful thing to go see.
Yeah.
6-week run. I'm going to see if maybe we can get in there. One of our favorite places, and I know we just saw the Chris and for those of you who are not in the area, Chris Foster and Patrick White see everything and direct a lot, and Chris also performs, so they're very involved in the local theater scene, and they were just down at Playwrights Horizon. And they have that. If you haven't treated yourself to seeing a show there, I highly recommend it. The work is always wonderful, and you basically are sitting right on top of the actors. It's a small house.
It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Downstate is playing there now, and it's getting very good notices.
Mm-hmm. A lot of things are wrapping up. We've got Music Man wrapping up. We've got Phantom wrapping up.
Yeah.
So there's some space, which has been a while since there's been a decent amount of space for a new show to come in.
And they kept Phantom, not Phantom, they kept Music Man. They extended it 2 more weeks, was it?
Yeah.
Anything on your docket?
On my doc, what to work on?
Just see.
Oh,
Sorry.
just see. Yeah. Well, I think I am gonna go see Phantom one last time.
Are you?
Yeah. I mean, it's been years and years and years and years, and that was one of the musicals that got me to love theater. I saw it when I was 7. I would
Oh,
listen to the soundtrack every night, falling asleep, trying to hit the high notes that Christine sings, not very successfully. So yeah, I think for the nostalgia, I just want to go see it one more time.
yeah. I don't know. I got to take a look. I really, I want to see Paradise. Um, I got the name wrong. I'm missing a word in it. Listen to us. Um,
From last year, Paradise Square.
Thank you. Yes, Paradise Square.
Oh, that's
Square.
closed though.
No, did that shut already? I thought I had
I'm,
another week or two.
you
So
know
maybe
what?
it
I'll have to look at it. I thought it closed.
could be. And but there's some good stuff still out there. I mean, we did just see Catch as Catch Can at Playwrights, which was
Mm,
delightful. Um, and 4 1 acts, all Tennessee Williams next door at Theater Row,
mm.
which was just sort of fun. That's a funky little house. It's nothing fancy by any stretch, and it's also but very accessible.
Yeah.
You're
And
checking.
there's what see, I'm just looking it up. Now you got me thinking about Paradise Square. Ba, 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 ba. It says it yes.
It did close
It closed on July 17th.
that long ago. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm losing it.
Unless they mean this coming July, but I don't think
Well,
so.
maybe it did close then. If it's and then there's another one. I got to stop and think. That I'd wanted to see it. You know,
I know.
I wouldn't mind seeing Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Oh, have you not seen it yet?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I saw it when it was 2 shows. And now they have
Yes.
reworked it so that it's one sitting.
Yeah.
Um, which I'll be curious to see it again. I'm glad I saw it when I did, because
Mhm.
honestly, I didn't think it was too long or needed cuts. So I don't know how much they had to rework. I'm glad I got to see the full thing. I mean, the first half ended, I was like, I'll just stay in my seat. Like, let's just start the second part right now.
That would be neat. I don't know. Death of a Salesman's getting fabulous notices.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Take Me Out.
Yeah.
Saw that when Capital Rep did that.
Oh, yes.
Um, A Strange Loop. That's really that's the one. I don't know why I said Paradise Squared. I need more coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's A Strange Loop. That's the one. Into the Woods, do you want to go see that?
I loved it. I
Yeah,
love the reworking of it.
yeah,
Yeah. But again, it's another one of those.
right.
I just love that show. And it was so nice to see a good production, because I've seen numerous productions that I didn't like of that one. And I think it's because I always grew up with the filmed original version. And with Joanna Gleason and,
Yeah,
Bernadette Peters and all of them. And so anytime I saw it, it couldn't live up to that, which I
right,
could watch anytime at home,
right.
And so seeing this production and walking away completely happy was
Oh, wow.
very, very exciting.
Do you know, I just want to give props to Mariah Little, who we had
Mm.
on some months ago, maybe even a year. Is it that
Yeah,
long ago? She
yeah.
is in the Radio City Christmas Spectacular.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, singing, and she's posted a few clips, and sounds as magnificent as always, and looks just so brava to Mariah.
Nice.
Yeah. And so that's good. And you've cast your show?
Yes, I have. I'm very excited. I've got Jump coming up at Albany Civic in February, and it's 4 actors who have never been on the Albany Civic stage. So that's exciting. I'm
And
glad
your
we gave
cast
new
includes share.
Oh, yes. Got to make sure I say everyone's last name correctly. Hold on. Let me make sure.
Nothing like your podcast co-host throwing you a curveball.
Because I'll just say their first name and people will be like, who's that?
Yeah.
Here we go. So I have Delice Uraib, I think is how she pronounces her last name. She's a UAlbany student who was just in The Wolves that I did, directed by Yvonne Perry. I have Monet Thompson Young, Nelson Jacobs Moore, and Russell Roberts. So
Whoa.
very exciting.
Fabulous.
So yeah, we start our run through is our first read through is next Monday.
How exciting.
Yeah.
That's great. We did, I had done a reading of a new play about a week ago with Saratoga. They're back in action, Pro House up in Saratoga. And the show was translated from Danish, and it was about 4 friends, one of whom discloses very early in the show. It's a one act or long, just no intermission, that she has Alzheimer's.
Mm.
And the relationships. And it's really interesting to read something translated in its first read, and idiomatic expressions sometimes don't translate well.
Yeah.
So I know they've got work to do if they're going to, do a full bore production. But it's very exciting, and it's something, if those of you who are listening, if you've had the good fortune to work on something that's in development, and to connect with people in that fashion, it's very different.
Yeah, I would love to work on something from the ground. I've never had the opportunity to work on something that's brand new and developed along the way.
Yeah. And see how it goes. With David Bunce, when he did Red Maple, I had the good fortune to do a table reading as he was listening to the language, and then to see the show after, say, oh, that made it, that didn't make it, what we said, held sway. Oh, I guess he didn't care what we said. It's interesting, the creative process, so many layers.
It's funny with Jump because Jump was written in 2020. So it's very new. And so you can't there's not much research to see what other productions of it have done. And the opening moment has me having one of those thoughts of, well, what did the playwright do? Like, how did they tackle this in an actual production? Because they're supposed to have the character is vaping on a bridge and throws the vape over the bridge, and then another one falls from the sky. It says in the stage direction, she doesn't even look at it, she just catches it and starts vaping again. And I'm like, how did I don't know how to, so we're doing something different. We're going to treat the moment the way it should be treated, but we can't have 10 vapes falling from the sky because we don't have the means to do that. And I don't know how an actor would catch it without looking at it anyway.
I wonder if they did it on a string.
Quite possibly. Yeah.
I wonder if they really did it, even though the director wrote that. The wrote that.
Yeah.
Because there are other ways to do that. And I'm sure you have decided on a most appropriate.
I'm actually bringing in a magician, and he's going to teach our actress a little sleight of hand to make it look like it's thrown, and but it will be back in her hand. I'm giving away my secrets, but
everybody is sworn to secrecy. And now think about the talent that actor can now put on their resume.
Exactly.
Anything opening coming up? I know we're coming to the end. This has been a really busy autumn
Yeah.
for shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even over at Siena College, the kids, the college, students just wrapped up company. Two very good notices, you know.
Yeah.
And that's an old that for me that's a fave. And Schenectady Light Opera is doing a little night music.
Little night music. You'll hear in our next two episodes, we're sponsored by Harbinger Theater. They're doing The Agony and the Agony. So we'll tell you more about that. That's coming in December.
That sounds like me cleaning the house, but I did the bathroom downstairs. Now I have to go.
I know that Confetti is doing The Rise of Arturo Ui, which was supposed to be a summer production or spring production. I can't even remember. It was ages ago, but because of COVID going through the cast, they had to bump it all the way to December.
Still been a problem. And just bravo, didn't get a chance to get down to upstage production. I had the good fortune to step in and work with them back in late April and early May in Steel Magnolias, but they just had a very successful, very short though, run of Matilda.
Oh, very nice.
So bravo. And Fort Salem has a winter musical of sorts. It's singing and some a lot of fun stuff. Snow, there's no business like snow business. So if you're looking for something that's just fun business, get a hold of the guys up at Fort Salem Theater, take a nice drive and go around the corner, have a nice little bite at Jacko's, which lovely small plates, nice place to go.
Do you have any holiday shows that you tend to see every year, or?
You know, this is the first year in at least a decade I'm not singing Christmas. I was the singing anchors with Jerry Gressinger and Jess Layton. Then Jess moved down to New Jersey. She works in New York City. And Jerry and I sang together, but the fella, Jay Kerr, who was our chief cook and bottle washer, he moved to New Jersey. And we had a Zoom meeting a few months ago. And we just, you know what, distance. Just
Yeah.
figure out how to do the rehearsing. And, thanks to the folks who say, so are we going to hear you? And Bella said, oh, I thought I'd get to hear you up at Vapor again. But, things change. Things come to an end.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So no. But I'm going to go see Nutcracker again
Oh, nice.
in the city.
I saw that, I always think about all these theaters that do the same winter show every year. So the Goodman always does Christmas Carol in Chicago. And Austin Titchener, who is from the Reduce Shakespeare Company, we had him on the show a while ago. He's playing Scrooge a few nights. So that would be fun. I wish I could go see him do that.
That'd be great. And then we've got to give props to Capitol Rep. They're doing the Wizard of Oz, which also they had been on the board to do, hadn't been announced. And then, of course, the world shut down. And Kevin McGuire is playing all the roles you expect him to be playing, including the Wizard. So, and it's multi racial casting. It's gonna, which is wonderful. It's a story that is appealing to everyone across all spectrum, and how I can't wait.
That's my childhood movie that I watched all the time.
Same.
And I think my daughter will be old enough maybe this summer to have her watch it the first time. And I hope she likes it.
So if you and I were in the show, you would be Glinda and I'd be the Wicked Witch of the West.
There you go.
I mean, let's face it. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. Oh God, we get a little wacky. But is there a Christmas show you would like to do?
I was very hesitant about this show coming out, but my family always watches A Christmas Story. That's our go-to movie. So when the musical came out, I had very low expectations. I thought I was going to hate it. I actually thought it's a fun show, and the role of the mother is just so endearing. So
Yeah.
one day I'd love to play the mother in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is an endearing musical.
Yeah.
And her role is endearing. So
Yeah.
everybody's listening.
There you go.
You know where we're listening. If you don't, throw it out into the universe.
Mm-hmm.
So otherwise, so you're rehearsing, and I'm just I'm waiting right now. Let's see what comes up.
Yeah, you've had a busy autumn, so you deserve a break.
I did. It was wonderful. You
Yeah.
know. So a lot of good stuff. Cahoes has some good, Playhouse Stage Company has some good stuff coming up. They've got Frozen with the kids, which is
Oh,
around
yeah.
the corner, which will be lovely to take the kids to. So check them out as well. And the music hall is just a beautiful place to be this time of year. And parking is easy in Cahoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. And on that note, everybody stay warm.
Yeah.
We have some great guests coming up in the coming weeks, including Jonathan Whitten, who fabulous director and cabaret performer from Saratoga, who's now in New York City and producing. He's just had his resume is wonderful, and a case of dreams come true when you work at it.
Mm-hmm.
So be looking forward to hearing from him.
Yeah. Excellent. And then of course our yearly wrap up. I can't believe it's the end of the year already. Whew. But what a year it's been. A lot more theater than the last 2 years.
Yeah, so much so that I totally forgot a show into the sea has already been closed. But anyway, no, it's all good. So happy. We're recording this right before Thanksgiving. So when you hear it, I hope everybody will have had a wonderful holiday and gorged on good times.
Definitely. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next week for our guest episode. And be happy, healthy, and safe. I'm Ellen Cribbs.
I'm Benita San.
Thank you so much for listening to the Everything Theater podcast. Special thanks goes out to Alice Grinling for our photography and Justin Friello for composing our amazing theme song. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to share your thoughts or what's going on in your theater community, you can reach out to us on social media or through our email at everythingtheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, it's everything, everything, everything.